Okay, Nintendo Switch, we got a fun one today. This is going to be a prior repair attempt by the device's owner to replace the port. It came completely disassembled. I think we have all the parts. We'll find out when we try to put it together. Wish me luck. Anyway, first thing we need to do is take off all this Captain tape. Why? You don't need Captain tape for this repair. Have to take some care and keep an eye. I'll make sure nothing else is going to pop off with it. Let's take a look and see what sort of damage we're looking at. And it looks like we're missing one pad. Switch you over to microscope so you can follow along. Is that ground? We can check that out real quick with just the meter. I do have guides that can tell me as well, but we can check that with the meter. So that is not ground. That is. Okay, so I do believe that's going to be a signal line. The first thing we're really going to have to do is clean so we can get a better look at the lay of the land. So, first thing we're going to do is clean up. And before I do that, let me throw up my expected temperatures for this job. I don't know if we'll use the 20% low at any point in this job, but we will be using all 3 irons at some point for running jumpers. Pico pencil is my primary iron for running jumpers. Before we can do any of that, we need to clean this mess up so we can see what is going on. I think what we'll do first is add some leaded. I don't know what he's put on this. And that should assist with our wicking. Okay, we may have to low melt those. Yeah. Get that one nice and flooded. There we go. That's better. Okay, I think we can clearly see, or more clearly see what's going on here. We did encounter and clean up, and tinning one more weak pad. This one's kind of weak, but I think it is going to be okay. Yeah, what we'll do is when we're doing the conformal coating for the jumper, we'll also conformal coat this and cure it, and then we'll scrape it off, and it should be good to go. I think it will be okay. Let's hope so. And of course, completely out of focus for you guys. Yeah, the one I'm worried about is this one. It is loose. It has been pried up, but I think it's still connected well enough where we can just conformal cut it. So this guy up here is our next concern. Get some solder on our little joint here, our little spots. Enough to run a jump or two. I will not be using lugs here because I think they do make lugs that would kind of work for this, but I don't have the right ones. Alright, I purposely covered this pad because if you remember right, it's slightly loose, and I want to cure it, and then we'll just scrape it off. We'll scrape off any of the conformal coating or UV mask. I will grab my UV lamp and I'll just stick it on there, and I'll probably just walk away and take about a 10-minute break. Okay, we're back. I took a little bit of a snack break, watched a little bit of Phil's stream, and it appears we are solid. We need to scrape off this UV mask that we don't need. We don't want it on the pad. Alright, that should do. And now we need to tin. I'm going to steady hand for this. Alright, so next I need to tin the port, and we will place the ports, and then we'll go from there. Okay, before I solder this port all the way in, I've kind of gotten around to doing this a lot lately. I am going to perform a test very gently and carefully and make sure we're getting behavior that we expect on both sides before I solder those anchor points down. Okay, that's not what I'm expecting. Stuck at 0.28. Not a good sign. Let me grab the PSU, the OEM. Alright, so we're going to have to be really kind of gentle with this. We're only hanging on by the pads. What I want to see is it recognizing both sides. So I'm going to flip the OEM over. Okay. I do believe it is recognizing both sides. If you want to try one more test, could just been being flaky with the PSU, or we could have another problem. Considering this was a DIY jobber, another problem is not unlikely. So I'm going to turn on channel 2, see if we can activate the boot. Well, it seems to be going up, it seems to be booting. So I'm hopeful that it's just not playing nice with the PSU. Okay, that's more like what I want to see. On both sides. There we go. Okay. That's better. Alright, so we will solder it down. I feel like we're getting action on both sides of the ports. Okay, I'm pretty sure y'all didn't miss anything. I was just cleaning off the board, and then I looked over here and realized our client, or the client of our client, rather, also managed to knock off the lid of the Joy-Con connector, so we're going to have to fix that too. Okay, well that couldn't have gone much better on the connector replacement, so I'm going to continue cleaning up his flux and my flux. I think I got most of my flux off, but I'm going to get his flux and stuff off, and then we'll put it back in the housing and test from there. So, more rude surprises that I really need to inspect these things before I go forward. He's managed to knock the lid off and bend pins in the LCD connector, so we're going to have to do that too. Price just went up. Alright, add that to the pile. That is building up quickly on this switch job. Alright, so I definitely want to mix in some leaded here and drop the temperature. I'm not going to wick because setting up to do that is going to mean I have to kind of take away my, or rejigger my jig here. I don't want to do that. My setup. Yeah, and that whole side has me concerned on that side. So we're going to try another flow. This connector can take several attempts, so just be prepared for that. That requires a bit of a steady hand. We'll just have to see how we did. Alright, that looks much better on this side. How do we do over here? Alright, it looks like we are down. Excellent. Okay, before we commit to trying to put it back in the housing, let's look around and make sure we don't have any more surprises. I do need to clean this this connector really well. I don't see any more surprises on this side, but I don't see any more surprises. Okay, hopefully the next time you see me see this board, it'll be in a housing and we'll be doing tests. No guarantees the way things have been going, but we'll see. Okay, we're ready to perform a test with my battery. See if we get anything resembling good behavior. That was a full battery symbol, so that's a good sign. Fast charging. Boot up without error. And touch. Awesome. Let's flip sides. Make sure we're getting fast charging on the other side, because that's a concern. Alright, we're getting fast charging on both sides. Now, that's not the end all be all. I would like to see a dock as well, but we need to get it reassembled enough to perform that type of test, and I want to let it charge on its own battery as well. Make sure it's doing that. So anyway, we'll reassemble it enough to let it charge on its own battery, and so that we can do dock test, and we'll go from there. Okay, well, their battery apparently already had a 50% charge in it, so we can go ahead and test. I want to make sure it's recognizing the Joy-Cons, because we had to do a Joy-Con connector. Alright, it's recognizing one. And it's recognizing two. Awesome. And charging. All three. Fantastic. Let's check and make sure it's recognizing my game. So y'all can see which one it is. It's not on their screen. It is now. That's good. Make sure nothing went wrong with our Wi-Fi. And we're picking up our networks fine. Good. And let's check and make sure we're picking up our Joy-Con. And we are. Good. If you're ever having a Wi-Fi thing, you want to check the Bluetooth too. So, all right. So we'll set up for the dock test, and that's really the last test we need. And we're going to have to cross our fingers on that one because we did have to run a jumper, and hopefully everything will sync up. And awesomely, as you can see in the top left corner, it is syncing with the jumper and everything else, so that's very exciting. This repair is done. Okay, it's a little while later on this. I looked at the summary for this one. I didn't like how it turned out. I got distracted by something else. Anyway, so you are getting a preview of what's to come. Anyway, so in summary, this was a DIY port repair attempt that went horribly wrong. Not only did they pull a pad on the port and also make one of the pads loose, they screwed up the Joy-Con connector, they screwed up the LCD connector, and we did finally end up fixing it, all of it, and it all worked. It charged, it fast charged, both sides, it docked, all that stuff. So everything worked. Anyway, the repair went well, the customer was happy. This is probably like a week or so later, so, or more. Anyway, everything went well. So if you have any questions about the equipment I used in this video, take a look in the description below. They're all Amazon affiliate link down there, so if you click on anything and buy anything during that session, it helps benefit the channel. I'll be greatly appreciative. We also have some other support links in the description if you just prefer to support the channel directly. If you like this video, do me a favor, hit the like button, and if you want to see more videos like it, hit the subscribe button and maybe the notification bell, and you'll know when I post videos. Right now is usually about twice a week. And if you have any questions, please post them in the description below, and I'll do my best to answer them or direct you somewhere that I think can answer them. And that's really all I have to ask of you. I appreciate you watching. I'm going to see you in the next one, or see you next time.